Welcome back to my channel. Hello. Today I'm doing a little office tour. You may have seen in my last video that I have a new background. Hear Buzz and just ignore the fly. I can't get him out of the room. He just, every time I talk, he goes bzzz. I don't want to kill him, but... So you might have seen in my IKEA desk hack video that I was kind of doing with my workspace. So basically in my house I have the small little room. It's a spare room that I use for crafting and sewing, and recently I needed a space where I could sit at a desk on my laptop, edit videos, write blog posts, edit photos, because I was doing it on my couch and my back was in bits, and I was like, no, I need somewhere proper where I can sit and get my work done. Like in the other room tours I've done my head, now Blondie's in on the action. I don't think I'm going to be able to film this video with, without any interruptions. Here, similar. So just like those rooms, they are quite dark in colour, so I needed to make the rooms feel bigger and brighter. And this room, it was painted in magnolia from when we first moved in. I had a Laura Ashley wallpaper that I did love at the time, but as I was sewing in this room, it felt really dark, dull, cluttered. I just felt like it was caving in on top of me. So I decided, after I was in New York, I left Mr. Dainty the task of wallpapering and painting the room for me. So I completely just went back to this big bright space. So I'm going to give you a proper little look and a walk around now, and I'll kind of show you where everything is. It's extra tidy today because obviously I'm filming this video. It's not always this tidy. I'd love to pretend it is, but it's not. So as you come into the room, like I said, it's not a huge room, it's quite small, which is perfect because it does fit actually a double bed. When we first moved in, we actually slept in this room for a couple of months before we got the other bedrooms done. So it does fit a double bed, but it's more of a kind of single sized room. So you come in, I've got me some teacups. I'll start with this side and then I'll go around. I always have a cute dress hanging on the door, whether it's something that I need to shoot or maybe someone has sent it to me. I always have a cute little dress, and that little dress is from Oasis. You might remember when I done a tour of my living room. Well, my little office is right beside the living room, so I wanted to pick a decor and wallpaper that would kind of match my living room as well, so that the whole kind of theme of the house is nice and, I suppose, how would you say, coherent or consistent. That little chair is something I upcycled, God, I'd say about 2 years ago. It was a good old second-hand steel. It was just a pine chair, and I painted it. I actually mixed the paint, I remember at the time. I think it's Authentico pink or antique pink mixed with something white maybe. I think I mixed it with vinyl, so it's a little colour. I was basically just mixing up some paint I had left over. These are just some teacups, like I said earlier, that were just sitting, waiting for a home. These are from Marks and Spencer's, but they were Christmas time, so I don't think you'll get these again. I'll link something similar in my description box if I find it. And of course the little chip mug. I wanted to get my hands, this is the guy from Penneys or Primark. I finally got my hands on one. My lovely pal Michelle gave me one. She was in Penneys at the time and she picked two up and she gave me one, and he's just the cutest. This is another little tea set. It's a Carolyn Donnelly for Dunnes Stores. You may still be able to get this. Again, this was just sitting kind of behind the couch in a gorgeous little display gift box, so I decided to give it a little home in here. So this gorgeous piece of furniture is a vintage, it's a 1941 Singer sewing machine. I bought this second hand. I got it locally from a girl. I got it off adverts.ie and it was a local seller. I'm actually since friends with her on Facebook. So she was not throwing it out, she was selling it on. I think I paid €100 for it, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and the sewing machine is inside. So you just simply lift up here. Inside is the sewing machine then, and this is the model. It might be a little bit dusty. So it's a 1941 model. If you ever want to know the model of, if you come across one of these, down here is a little serial number on them and you can look them up. When I looked this one up, it gave me, I think it was definitely 1940s. The sewing machine does work, but I need a new belt for it. It is one of the like treadle ones. I'm like moving my foot, doing the treadle motion as I say that. So it's one of the ones that work off the treadle, the little foot pedal. It does work, but my belt is like stretched on it. So there is a Singer, I think there's a Singer repair guy in town in Dublin. This is what I actually sew off. This is a Singer Symphony. This is the one from Aldi. It was 99 euros. I have sewn so much on this machine. It's a little rocket, perfect beginner machine. I have sewn tons on it. It served me well, and I still continue to use it today. I would consider myself to still be quite amateur when it comes to sewing. Obviously I can sew a ton of teddy bears, a good cushion, bit of bunting, but I'm not as advanced as people kind of think I am. I still have a lot to learn. My next mission in sewing is to learn how to sew a dress. I'm looking to find a good class that I can go to learn to sew a dress, because it's kind of hectic with work trying to do evening classes and stuff. So even if I can find like a one-day workshop, but loads of people have been saying just look on YouTube. So I think I'm gonna have a look on YouTube first. I have watched a couple of how to make dress kind of videos, and I might start with maybe a little A-line skirt. But yes, next on my sewing to learn is make a dress. Because could you imagine if I learned how to make a dress? Oh my god, I'd go into business, I'd be selling all my dresses. So yeah, that's on my to-do list for this year, is to learn to sew a dress. This is the calic storage unit that I went for. I went for just the kind of double cubed one. I'll pop the measurements on down below. But there is tons of different sizes of these. There's so much you can do with these. Actually, if you search Calyx hack on Pinterest, you'll see what people have done with them. But it's just great because storage wise and size wise, it's perfect for this room because it's not too deep. It doesn't take up too much space. And it's great the way you can pop the little boxes in. So yeah, I'm a fan of these. So in these boxes I actually have people's orders. So these are people's memory bear orders, so they give me the fabric and the pieces of clothing, and that's what's in here. So I have 2 people's in here, I have 2 other people's orders in there, so I just use these to pop in orders before they're made, because I don't like having tons of. Before I before I redone this room, I would have them stacked up in the corner and they'd be in bags and it would stress me out. So they're all nice and neat in little boxes, so that's what's in those little cubes. Just on my memory bear orders as well, I have had to stop taking orders because it just got way too crazy. I do work full time. YouTube and my blog is my hobby, but I do like to make content for it, and I like to make my bears as well. So unfortunately, after summer I have to get through all of the orders I have. I don't know if I will be taking on any orders just because it was too hectic. So I'm really sorry if you have followed me on Snapchat and stuff, but it's just crazy. And until it comes a time where I have more time, but I work 5 days, I do this as well, and I do like craft as well, but I also need some me time too. That's my little picnic basket. You'll probably remember that from my homeware haul that I done recently. So I just popped it up there, kind of because I had nowhere to put it, but it looks really nice on display there. I still have to use it and I have a little picnic. These are just some fake peonies from Next, and then my little phrase, good things happen to babes who hustle. This is from Tara from Farfetch Accessories, so that's a good little reminder to have up there. I also, you might notice, I have my cutting mat, so that's just a handy way to store my cutting mat for sewing, so I just pull it out when I need to use the blade on that. So that's a cutting mat that's just stashed in there. This little chap is from Next, and I just love the kind of wood texture. Actually the little gold trinket accessory is also from Next. They are both recent and they were only a couple of euro each. I think that little gold thing was like maybe 10 euro, and the little bunny guy was the same. Then there's my little vase, you remember from my homeware haul that I actually won in HomeSense, so that just slotted in nicely in there. That cube I just have some random fake flowers, a teacup vase, A little feather actually on that vase that I randomly found. Nothing too mad in there. Then I just have my sewing machine popped down there, which is really handy. Down here I have two little bunnies, but they are just hiding. Behind them bunnies are some of the IKEA ribbon frames, so I just have them stored in there, but I have the two little bunnies in front trying to disguise them. So just in here, that is that built-in wardrobe that was in the room already. So I just have everything I basically don't want on display is put in there. So I literally have boxes. I'll show you really quickly inside, like my printer, loads of random stuff in here, all hidden away. So it's not really the tidiest. Down below I just have some paper bags from when I done craft fairs, some like what would you call it, business cards, leaflets, things like that. In here I just have some paints. I mainly keep a lot of my paint in the shed, and this is just paint that I want to use, but for anything else I put it in the shed. This is just my printer, sewing book, random stuff. It's not the tidiest. Some notebooks, reminder thingies beside it, sewing box, yeah, really random. Not, listen, I was gonna tidy it for you, but hey, I'm going to be real. These little in here is not perfect. And then up here I just have random junk as well, and a poor little teddy bear. You can see it is like a proper little wardrobe. Down below I just have crates, and this is fabric, scraps, random stuff, mainly fabric and scraps. So this is my like desk area, which you would have seen in the IKEA hack DIY with my table. Itself is an IKEA Lerberg and Linmon. So the top is the Linmon, and it's the 120 centimeter length table. Little trestle legs are they're called Lerberg. I'm not pronouncing that right, but I will type it in the corner. So that is the desk itself. Myself to a really good chair. This one is called the Fiador, and this was about €120, but if I spin it around you'll be able to see the back of it. It kind of reminds me of like an old pub chair. You can see the kind of the back of it there, and it's nice and deep, and it's nice and comfy on your back as well. I just have a cute little cushion on it, but this little rug actually that's on it is from Moss Cottage, but it actually sits on the chair perfect. It is actually though a little rug, so you can pop it on the ground as well. So when I'm kind of using it as an office and I want to have like something on the ground, I can pop it down. But for now I'm enjoying using it on the chair as like an extra, what would you call it, like a cushion. It's really comfy to sit on, and when Blondie sits on it she disappears, and that's from Moss Cottage. The table is a really good depth as well for working off, so if you are doing any crafts and you need a good desk, the desk is really good. It's nice and deep, and it's sturdy as well, and it's like pretty solid. So as for trinkets on the table, so obviously this is set up for when I'm not sewing. Obviously when I'm sewing I tend to just leave the fake flowers and I have my machine set up. So first I have my gorgeous little lamp. This is from TK Maxx. That was a little bargain. I think it was €35, maybe 40, but it was a bargain. Little teacup that you would have seen in my HomeSense haul, and that was $9.99. Some gorgeous cottage-like fake flowers. They look like they've just been plucked from like a garden, and it comes in that little jug. They were expensive, and they were from Next. Then I have my good old pink telephone. You remember that from a little DIY video I done earlier in the year where I sprayed it candy pink. I have a little trinket holder here. This is supposed to be like a jewellery holder. I tend to put like hair bobbins and stuff on it from when I'm working, so I can just tie my hair up. And then I have a gorgeous little notebook at the end, which I'll show you now. So this is my little Moss Cottage book. I love this. So I use this for like blog post ideas. So here I just have like tons of ideas that I come to whenever I need to, and I just kind of jot in things like that, or like if I need to write down something, if I'm making a video, kind of like ideas, things like that. So that's what I keep that there for. That's like my idea notebook. I hope you've got a feel for the room. It's quite hard to kind of film the room because it's so small, so I'm trying to give you a feel for kind of what it's like, so I hope it kind of came across in a video. Let me know if you are getting up to any home decor, if you have any little projects, if you have any rooms you want to make over, or if you've given yourself a little office or a corner in your house to get your crafty bits done. Don't forget to tag me in your pictures on Instagram. I'll pop my handle here. And I'll see you next week with another video.